We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike and she's Sophie
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu, ready as always.
Yep.
And we're on the road with Mickey. This is episode 158 for February 13th, 2023. And this week we are talking about romantic Disney traditions or maybe romantic Disney things that may become a tradition,
Yeah.
depending on your
That's
point
right.
of view. This was Sophie's topic idea, and we're running with it because, as you all know, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. If you have a significant other that you are looking to buy for, you might want to get on the ball if you haven't taken care of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, before we get started, we have some cheddar from the big cheese. And Brenda, you start us off.
Well, we're starting off with cruise news, which is some of my favorite news. On the Disney Magic, several categories of staterooms that were deluxe family ocean view staterooms with veranda are being converted to concierge. It's not a huge number of staterooms, but they'll be ready for sale dates beginning on May 5th and are available for booking right now. So reach out to Mike at pixievacations.com or me at Brenda@pixievacations.com and let's get you booked on an awesome Disney cruise. Sounded
Exactly.
like an advertisement, but it wasn't.
No, it's news.
News you can use.
News you can use. There you go.
Well, okay. Guess it's my turn now.
It's your turn.
And I'm taking you guys back to Hollywood Studios with me, where meet and greets with Goofy, Max, and the Incredibles are coming. You can now see these characters during your visit to the park.
Fantastic.
And if
I
I
know.
recall correctly, it's referring to Max, who is Goofy's son in the Goofy movie series.
Yep.
Mhm. That's right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Incredibles, you also have Edna Mode and Frozone as part of that.
Really?
Pretty
Yeah.
So
cool.
that is interesting. That's a lot of characters.
Yeah. It is. Now, I have something that is not cheddar because it's rumor. And, I don't usually go on rumor, but this one I'm going to announce. Um, and so instead of calling this cheddar, we're going to call this cheese whiz, okay? Because it comes
Okay.
out of a can. We don't know if it's real cheese or anything like that. But here's the rumor. The rumor is that Pecos Bills might be closing to be rethemed for Tiana as a
Oh,
Tiana restaurant. What do you think? Should they do
if they
that,
have
Sophie?
beignets, I'd go for it.
I
You know,
mean, I cannot be sure if they should do it or not because there are two ways that you can take anything Princess and the Frog. Obviously, they're taking Splash Mountain and turning it into a bayou theme, but beignets don't really work for that. They are more for a French Quarter theme, and so we wouldn't really have a place for them in Disney World like we do in Disneyland. So I don't necessarily think this is the best idea if it's true. So I think it's just a bunch of fake cheese.
and also, side note, and I don't know if this will happen or not either, but you know that there's a little cart like Oak something or other over in Adventureland, and
Hmm.
the rumor is, and it's right near where Splash Mountain and and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad are. But the rumor is that that will also be rethemed, and that will be a spot to buy beignets.
Ah, I
Hmm.
was thinking they might just have a place for it in what was the gift shop for Splash Mountain and who knows what they're going to do with that. But
To be fair,
Yeah.
if they put that in the gift shop for former Splash Mountain, then you will not even be able to walk around that area.
that's true.
That's true. That's true.
Let alone get to Big Thunder.
Yeah. So anyway,
They need to
just
think about it.
just Cheese Whiz, not cheddar yet.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised though. I
I
be
wouldn't be
surprised.
surprised either.
So
We'll have to wait and see.
yeah, time will tell, people. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
All right. Well, that's all the cheddar we have. It's cheddar and pseudo cheddar. But anyway, we are now going to move on to our feature topic, and we are looking at some romantic Disney traditions. This was Sophie's idea because
Yep.
it's right up with Valentine's Day, and that makes perfect sense. So great thought, Sophie, on that.
Yep.
So since it was her idea, I'm giving
get
her
to
the
go
floor,
first.
and she's gonna lead us off. So
Great.
tell us what you're thinking, Sophie.
Okay. Well, to start off, I have a confession to make. Me and my family, we have never been to Disney in February.
That's right.
Which means that while I was coming up with ideas for this, I had the mind-blowing revelation that Disney actually celebrates Valentine's Day quite a lot, especially when it comes to their food. There is a lot of stuff. I've seen it on the Walt Disney World Resort Parks blog. It looks amazing. In fact, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys some of this stuff.
Go for it.
Just look at all of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yum.
And of course, these things are scattered all across the world, so they're not all just in Disney World, but a lot of the stuff is in Epcot. So obviously, it's a good idea to, when you're celebrating Valentine's Day at Disney, to come and try some of these. And they're only available for February the 14th, except for at Epcot. There are some at Hollywood Studios, like the ABC Commissary and stuff, and they have a bunch of other things. And this one is actually available the 11th through the 14th. So it's available right now at the time of this show. So if any of you listeners are in Disney right now, stop by and see if I'm talking any sort of sense and if it's real or not, because I had no idea.
Yeah, it looks
Those
good.
cakes with rings look so cute.
Don't they though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do look good.
All that looks good though, especially the
Mhm.
chocolate stuff.
And we love our food
We love our food.
and our
Yeah.
desserts. So
Yep.
Especially
And then,
our
of
desserts.
course, if you're going to the resorts, they're going to be available for even longer. I was just scrolling down after I stopped sharing my screen, and it says here that at multiple resorts, there are a bunch of Valentine's themed cute little snack things that are available from the 9th all the way through the 20th. So it's not
Yay.
nearly on the scale of the Food and Wine Festival, but it's there.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yum. Now I'm hungry.
Sorry.
I'm always hungry, Brenda.
Sorry about that.
That was yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy news.
So, from what you saw there, which ones do you want to try first?
I want to try the engagement ring dessert.
Okay.
Is that a red velvet cake?
Yeah, it's a red velvet cake with a little like sugar engagement ring on top. I kind of want to
Yeah.
try that flourless cake that I saw from
The
Epcot.
chocolate flourless. Yeah, that looked
Yeah.
good too.
I'm with Sophie.
Yep.
and
Anything
if
chocolate.
it's flourless, doesn't that make it gluten free?
I did not see if it was confirmed gluten-free or not, but I think it does. It's just a matter of cross-contamination.
Yeah.
Just gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They look
Well,
good though.
So Sophie is looking at she's taken an angle of looking at unique treats for Valentine's Day.
Well, sort of. While I was thinking about this, I realized that a lot of these traditions Many people think that you're going to have to spend a bunch of money, so I'm trying to take the road of traditions on a budget.
Okay. So what else you got for us?
Wait, don't you guys have anything?
Oh yeah, we do. Do you want to do a round robin?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Brenda, you're next.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking back. I'm thinking way back because now my kids are grown kids and they have kids. So I'm going way back to when my
Golly,
kids
Brenda.
were, they were let's say mid-teens.
Okay.
And my kids weren't the traditional teens, maybe, that the parents would go back to the resort and the kids would close down the park. It was always the opposite for us. The kids went back and maybe around, I don't know, 10, something like that. They'd go back to the resort and Butch and I would close down the park. So if it was extra magic hours at Magic Kingdom, we had just a nice romantic, slow time to share time together away from all the crazy. And a lot of times we actually closed the park down and it was beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful to have the park without a million people in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very romantic to me.
Yeah.
That sounds very romantic.
It was very romantic.
Yes.
So that's one of my favorite things to do for romance at Disney is just, well, of course, evening magic hours now you can't get except for certain nights and if you're a deluxe resort guest, but I'm hoping that's going to change back. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping it's going to change back so more people can enjoy that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I hope it does too. I mean, because I have so many extra magic memories,
Yeah.
extra magic hour memories. I mean, beyond compare. So, yeah, I certainly hope they do that back at some point. Um, you know, like Sophie said, we've never been to Valentine's Day at Disney. We've never been to Disney in February. So it is just not something we've ever done. So it's
Mhm.
one of those things that Sophie and I are just we're kind of going blind a little bit, but also, we're working from the heart, which I guess is really what matters because it's Valentine's Day.
A
Um,
dream is a
Yep.
wish the heart makes.
exactly. Sing it, Brenda. Sing the whole song. She's like, no, you got all
No.
you're getting, Mike.
Besides, that song's more about hope than love.
But you can hope for things you will do that are romantic when
Well,
you are with
yes.
your love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to take the angle of things that I would love to do with Cindy in the future, regardless of whether it's actually at Valentine's Day or not. Because I think Sophie said that truly, um, maybe she didn't say, but in my mind, thinking Valentine's Day is something that you can celebrate all year because you love your wife and you love your spouse and your significant other. You don't just love them on Valentine's Day. You love them the whole year,
Well,
you
yeah.
know?
True.
And you're absolutely right, Daddy. That being
So,
said, Valentine's Day is like the official couples holiday. So, yes, I want to celebrate it especially on Valentine's Day.
yeah. So, but for me, one thing that I would love to do to show Cindy how much I love her. And and I don't think maybe she would tell you otherwise, but I don't think that I have to show her necessarily. But I think I would love to take Cindy to a special restaurant, somewhere like Victoria and Albert's, you know, a restaurant where it's just the two of us. We're celebrating whether it's Valentine's Day or an anniversary, um, or some other special occasion, I
Mm-hmm.
think that would be a really neat thing to do is to take Cindy
Yeah.
to Victoria and Albert's.
Yep. That's on my list too. I'm going to scratch it off because you covered it. But that is a great idea.
Well, then maybe
Yeah.
Brenda, maybe because you're probably going to talk about the chef's table.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about the chef's table specifically, but yeah, that would be. I
Well,
can. I can talk about specifically about the chef's table.
well, what I was going to say is that maybe you and I should bring our significance with us and do the four of us at Victoria and Albert's.
At the chef's table?
If we can, or however, at Victoria and Albert's, however,
Double
Yeah,
date.
double date.
that would be pretty cool. Have some special food,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
specially prepared food by the executive chef. Yum.
yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll be off somewhere fulfilling my dream of finding the love of my life at Disney.
Sophie will probably be at Epcot enjoying whatever she wants to as she meanders around World Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even bumping into some handsome rich person there.
There you go. There you go.
I'm kidding.
I know. I know you are. So anyway, Victoria and Albert's, either just Cindy and I or as a double date with Butch and Brenda. So there you go.
It wouldn't be as romantic with us, though. It would be funny, probably.
Oh, come on. Fun comedy is romance.
Romantic comedies are for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rom-coms. There's a reason they exist.
Yep. All right. So Sophie, we're heading back to you.
Yes, back to me. And again with my Valentine's Day on a budget. No need to break the bank over a single night.
That's true.
hmm And trust me when I say there are a bunch of things that you can do year round, not just Valentine's Day, like Daddy was saying. Even if the sweet treats that I mentioned were only for a limited time, but there are still so many other things. Disney is not just a love letter to children. It's not just a love letter to the youth and childhood. It is a love letter to adulthood as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many things that children will pass right on by. They will not realize it. They won't even pay it any attention. But if you're an adult, you just look and you see all these things, like wishing wells. And although I didn't show Daddy, I do and plan to show it to him one day. Outside of Tony's restaurant, there is that little place in the cement where you have a heart with a lady and the tramp inside of it and their paw prints. It's so cute. It really is. And
Nice.
then another thing, and this is something that I got off of TikTok. It was a how to propose to your significant other at Disney. And if you go into Pinocchio Village House, there is a book underneath a stained glass window of the Blue Fairy. And that book is called The Wishing Book, and you can write in it with a dry erase marker because it's laminated and stuff. And so you just write your wish, and the way to do it is you say, I wish my girlfriend would marry me. And then you take your girlfriend over, you're like, hey, look what was written in the book. And then she says yes or no while she's reading it.
Hopefully she says yes if you went to that level of detail.
Hopefully
Yeah.
so. We can hope so for sure.
And there are a bunch of different ways to propose to someone at Disney. And of course, it doesn't cost much except for the ring and getting there.
Yeah.
But then again, it doesn't cost much otherwise. And you will just find the most sweetest people. I remember it was the day of the 50th anniversary. We were going towards Tomorrowland very slowly, and then we saw a guy get down. He and his girlfriend, they were getting their picture by the castle. He tapped her on the shoulder. He got down on one knee. And you know what happened 2 seconds later?
She said yes.
Yep.
The photographer yelled out, she said yes! And everybody started cheering.
That's
Yep.
great.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful and wholesome.
Yeah.
Very great.
And I'm
That's awesome.
going all over the place, so just ignore my order of operations here.
That's what we're at here. You know what? It doesn't matter.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right. Well, those are great suggestions, Sophie.
Yep.
And I made note of them all. Um, and now we're going to go back to Brenda for some more traditions.
Well, I don't know why, and I don't know if I'm by myself or other people feel this way, but I think that swings are very romantic. So there's a two-person swing on the beach there in between Beach Club and Yacht Club. There's a swing like that off the Riv over there at the Riv. And I just feel like sitting on the swing together at sunset or dusk is just the most romantic thing to do. If you're between the beach and yacht club, you're looking at the water. So sitting on the swing together and just talking and swinging is romantic to me. If I'm at the Riv, I've already gotten some special dessert.
The
So
Riv
we've
is short for the
probably had
Riviera,
the
right?
Riviera. Yes, and we've probably had some chocolate dessert and coffee. And then when we go back outside, we could sit on the swing and just enjoy some
Yeah.
special time.
Yeah. And also at the Riviera, and maybe it's not a swing. When you say swing, I'm thinking of like a swing at the playground.
No, these are like a bench that hangs from a swing.
So a
And
Okay.
porch
both
swing.
So a
people can
porch
sit
swing.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except our porch swing is like a glider. But
Ah,
yes, like a porch swing.
Okay.
that's
So then
cute.
I was thinking of the same thing. Cindy and I have sat at the Riviera outside
Mm-hmm.
where they
Mm-hmm.
have the games and whatnot the kids can play,
Yep.
and there's the porch swing
Yep.
um
Right there on that
right
slab.
there. Yeah. And just FYI people, um it is a great place while you wait for your mobile order if you order from the quick service downstairs right there
There
in the
you
door there,
go.
you know?
Awesome.
So just, if food's on your mind like it's always on my mind, then you have a great place to hang out while you wait for your food to be ready.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if this is just me, but playing those giant chessboards, like with the life-size chessboards that come up to like half of my height, that is so much fun. And if somebody took the time to play one of those games with me, doesn't matter which one of us won, I would love them forever.
It's almost
Very
like playing wizard chess, isn't it?
It is.
Because they're
So,
bigger
Daddy, when are we
pieces.
playing chess next?
We can play chess, Sophie. Um,
Okay.
Speaking of transitioning totally off topic,
Yeah,
because that's what I do very well.
it's what we all do.
Chess goes to wizard chess, which goes to Harry Potter. And my friend Monica, I think it's Brenda's friend Monica too, she posted on Facebook. She is in the UK, and Sophie, she found the real life Tom Riddle's grave
crazy.
What?
and posted pictures. There was a real life person named Tom Riddle, aka Voldemort, who
Thomas Marvolo Riddle?
no, it didn't say that,
Probably not.
but but she found his grave at a cemetery and took pictures for us Harry Potter freaks to enjoy.
Wow.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
pretty cool. He passed
Very off
away. This
topic,
one
but
passed
very
away
cool.
in the 1700s, like 1706 or something. So, but anyway, off topic, back on topic. Mike Center himself, and he is back. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was not one of my romantic Disney traditions
I
is
would
to go
I
hope
didn't
looking
think
for
not.
so.
That was
character
neither
graves.
romantic nor Disney.
You're right. It wasn't romantic, nor was it Disney. Um, Sophie touched on it. Proposals in front of Cinderella Castle. Um, and I just wanted to remind her that, and I wish she had been there. She was a little younger, so she wasn't there. But I have seen a proposal in front of Cinderella Castle with family. And that is how Shane proposed to Stephanie.
Yeah.
And several things going for it, Brenda. One, it was in front of the castle. Two, it was at night. It was extra magic hours. Listen,
Hey,
just listen, Disney. You know, you need to listen here. Extra magic hours are really romantic and cool.
yep.
And it was obviously a life altering moment for them. It was so cool. And I was blessed to be able to be there, and I was able to take pictures for them. So Shane had
Nice.
already. It was so neat because Shane called me like a month or 2 months before this trip was going to happen, and said, "Hey," um, and obviously he wasn't asking for my blessing because I'm not Stephanie's dad. He had already talked with Stephanie's dad to get his blessing. It was more, but it almost felt like a pseudo blessing.
Oh,
But
very
he was
cool.
like, "You're the Disney guru. I need to know, what do you think about this or that or the other?" And suggestions, and that's where we came up to it. So way to go, Shane. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, that's right.
So that is about as romantic as it gets. And it
Mhm.
Yep.
wasn't Valentine's Day, but it was still very romantic.
Yep. And then years later, they have two kids, and they are so cute.
Yeah,
Yep.
very cute. All right.
All right.
So that is a tradition that is
Mhm.
perhaps something you might want to consider one day. And I know they're not the first and they're not the last, and there's a lot of people in between, but that's a
Yep.
that's a powerful time. Definitely a
Yep.
powerful time.
And speaking of Shane and Steph, do you know what my engagement to them was? Because I was a little girl and I thought it was going to be great.
Oh, I loved it. And they loved it. And they still do love that you did this. Tell them,
Yeah.
Sophie.
Basically, and this is an entire culture as well. With Disney, you guys know how much they love the ears, the mouse ears. Well, when I found out that Shane and Steph had gotten engaged, because I was not there, I don't believe.
You were at the room with Miss Monica and the kids.
Yeah. Well, when I found out what had happened, I was like, Daddy, we are getting them a matching set of ears. Stephanie's going to have a bride set. Shane is going to have a groom set, and they're going to have their names embroidered on them. So we went to Epcot. We got the things. It cost a bunch of money. Thank you, Daddy, for paying for me because I was little and I had my own funds. Not.
She paid her own. You paid for that, Sophie.
Wait, I did?
You did.
Hmm.
She
I
covered that
probably.
out of her own funds, so Brenda.
Oh,
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
probably I probably ended up with zero money left.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But that meant a lot to them, though.
mm-hmm. Yep. And it's so cute. And they wore them at their wedding too. We got a picture of it.
Hmm. And also, yeah, they had them at the table with the presents. They had their ears arranged, and yeah, that really touched them that you did that for them, Sophie.
Hmm.
Very
So
sweet.
Yep.
yeah,
And someday I'm gonna have my own.
there you go.
And
Yep.
that's how we met a pen pal of mine as
Hmm.
well. I was 6. It was my first time going on Tower of Terror, and there was a lady and her fiance in front of us, and she had on,
Husband now.
well, yes, husband now, but pretty sure they weren't married yet when we met them.
They were. They had just gotten married, but
Oh,
that's okay. It's
okay.
okay.
I was 6. It's been 18 years.
15 years.
15 years. I can't do math.
It's okay. It's okay, Sophie. But yeah, so that was Tyler and Brianna
Mm-hmm.
from Edmonton.
Edmonton, Canada. Yep.
Hmm.
And she was wearing her bridal ears, and they looked so pretty. And I was like, "Your ears are very pretty." And she said, "Thank you." And then we just started talking and talking while we were waiting in line. And it turned into a pen pal. And I have not spoken to her in many years, and I feel a little bit bad about it. Yeah.
So that, it just goes to show, in addition to romance, there's also friendships that can blossom up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
Yep.
all right. So, who's next? Brenda's next. Anything else, Brenda?
I'm going to go over to Disney's Port Orleans Resort Riverside, where we stayed many times, and we're going to do a carriage ride over there
Okay.
Mm.
because carriage rides to me are romantic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one.
And you can do it right now. So if you're at Disney listening to this, get over there and get something booked if they're not booked up already.
Yeah. And it's really neat because it takes you between Riverside and French Quarter,
And
right
it's
on the
beautiful.
Sassagoula. Yeah.
It's a beautiful ride.
Yeah. I've never done that, but I did schedule that once for one of my clients whose kids sent them on that when they were celebrating an anniversary, and they were like, we want to give them this carriage ride. So
Yeah,
that was really kind of neat.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've done
And
the same thing for mine too.
yeah, and it's not a huge expense. I mean, there's some cost to it, but it's not a huge thing. So
Yep.
So it is one of those things that could be done in a budget kind of fashion, as Sophie was talking about.
Start a sinking fund, save up ahead
Yeah.
of time.
Yep.
Yep. Well, you know what? While we're on the topic of carriages, what do you guys think of the Surrey bikes?
I think the Surrey bikes would be a lot of fun. And one day we should do that. You, me, and Mommy.
Yeah, and get some other people too, because I think it seats like 6.
You can get them that seat 4, or you can get them that seat 6.
Oh.
And they have the little I know when we rented them over at when we stayed at the Saratoga Springs, they have the ones with the seat in the front of the 2 people in the front that are pedaling. And the seat in the front is where Aaliyah and McKinley sat because they were little. They were really.
Aww.
Then so that way they don't have to pedal their little legs off.
They couldn't have reached the pedals no matter what. But they really liked it. And really, we did it for them. I mean, we wouldn't necessarily.
You wouldn't do it for you. You did it for them. Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, I get it. So yeah, so I think Surrey bikes would be fun, and that's like I don't know if we covered it when we talked about on your checkout day, things to do on your checkout day before it's time for your flight home, kind of
I
thing.
think we did, but
Did
it's
we
just so
touch on it?
cool that we need to
Yeah.
touch on it again.
So yeah, I mean, we've maybe an episode. I think we did an episode of things to do outside of the parks, and so maybe I'll relook at those notes and just see if we missed something or if we need to update it. But
Well, and also if you live in a city that doesn't offer that, like if you can't do that at home,
then
that's a great thing to do on vacation because you want to do the things you can't do at home.
Right. Right. You want to experience things you can't experience at home. You want to eat places you can't eat at home.
That's
and
right.
on and on and on, and that's why, going to a destination like Disney or Universal or somewhere like that where you can experience. I mean, if you talk Universal, there is no Toothsome Chocolate Factory near us in Raleigh. That is for dang sure.
Nope, not near me down here in Texas either.
So being able to get, like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God, those things throw you into a coma.
Yeah, they're
so good.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the whole point. You want to do things there that you can't do at home. So, so yeah. Anyway, um, one thing that I think is really a romantic thing to do. And
Mm-hmm.
again, you're going to hear a theme here, but it is what it is. And it's just one more. I'm going to keep digging at Disney to bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. There is, in my opinion, one of the most romantic things you can ever do is just hold your significant other's hand and walk around World Showcase in the evening as the crowds thin out and just listen to the music at the different pavilions and just enjoy being there.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
you know, that is about as budget friendly as it gets.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
um I mean, it's typically cooler. So when we visit, it's usually in the summer. So it's hot during the day, and as it gets to the evening, it gets cooler, and it just feels better. And then you got the nice glow of the lights and everything, and
Yep.
it's just romantic. I don't know. Maybe I have no imagination, but to me, that's a romantic thing.
Oh, for
So
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
so so that's one of the things that I think is a really neat thing to do. Um, So, Sophie, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think I covered everything.
Okay. Brenda.
Well, I'm going to talk about sitting out on your balcony at night and watching the fireworks. Because
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
out together and watching the fireworks, if you're at one of the Epcot resorts and you can see Epcot's fireworks, or if you're on the monorail route and you can see Magic Kingdom fireworks, it's just nice to sit out there and just enjoy watching the show while you just relax on your own balcony
Yeah.
Mm.
together.
Yep. Yep. That's that's a good one. You know what? I have a good segue to that.
All right.
And I think this will be my last one. Um, and you know what? This is like four things. We each have four things. So, um, but segue from watching the fireworks from your balcony, when we were at Disneyland, our first trip, and we had that awesome room. My goodness, that room was so incredible. And we could open our door and see into what was then Paradise Pier, which is now Pixar Pier. And we could see part of Mickey's Fun Wheel. We could see Goofy Sky School. We could see the water there. And the really neat thing to me, and it has its Disney has their own way of doing romance, and even if it's not a romantic thing overtly, it just kind of lulls you a little bit. And to me, when we were back in our room, we would open the door a little bit, we'd hear the music come up from down below, and we would just hear that music as we were going to bed, and it was just perfect. It was like Disney tucking us into bed at night, you know?
Sweet.
And it was so neat. Not to mention the fact that when we got there was Cindy, Sophie, and I. And Sophie this is 2013. She had just turned 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but they gave us a room that had a whole bunch of rose petals. Like we were newlyweds or something.
Sweet.
But
I
it
don't
was
know, maybe
neat.
thought I was just your valet or something.
No, I don't think
You're
they
open.
thought that at all. But it was a neat room, and it was a great location. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Beautiful location. So cool.
Awesome.
Such a great location. So so that evening, the cool air, the music, the parts that you could see of World of Color, all that just combined, and just being able to, it's almost like watching the fireworks from your balcony. In this case, it was watching the water show, but more importantly, just listening to the sounds of the park closing down at night.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
that music, even after the park's closed, the music goes on for at least 2 hours afterwards.
Nice. For the
So
cast
it's
members.
just, yeah, it's just really, really peaceful. So anyway, so that is my last little thing, and I think, am I right, ladies? Are we finished with our feature topic?
I think we are.
Okay, so that is our feature topic for this week: romantic Disney traditions,
Mhm.
whether they're ones you like to do to think back to something or ones you want to make. Obviously, doing a proposal in front of Cinderella Castle isn't necessarily a tradition. It's kind of like a start.
Hopefully just once, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want.
We don't want a serial proposal out there. Wasn't that guy in that other picture of the photo?
Yeah. Wait a minute. You here last year proposing to someone? I'm sorry. Way
Oh.
to ruin that show, right, Sophie?
Oh,
You two anywhere.
I'm just gonna pretend I did not hear that.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sick sense of humor.
yeah. So
Yep.
that is our feature topic, and it is now time for this day in Disney history for February 13th. So Sophie,
Well,
take it away. Save the show, baby.
actually, first things first, before we talk about today, I have an apology to make for last week. I was so wrapped up in my dad's birthday and in Ronald Reagan's that I forgot a couple of very important birthdays as well. One of which might be even more important than my dad's birthday. Sorry, Daddy.
No, not even close to being more important.
Or because I want to wish a happy late birthday to Elias Disney. And let you guess how he's related to Walt.
Might
Walter
be,
Elias Disney.
might
Yeah,
be his dad, maybe.
his dad. Yep, 1859. Wow.
Wow.
And of course, another happy birthday, belated, to Thurl Ravenscroft, who was a very, very important and active voice actor for Disney. He was also named a Disney legend, and he was born in Norfolk, Nebraska.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know there was a Norfolk, Nebraska.
Yeah, I
Me
know.
neither. I
And I
didn't
am
either.
so sorry that I missed you guys. I am very sorry about that.
Happy birthday. Happy
Happy
heavenly
late
birthday.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. And now that that's out of the way, on to February 13th. And I have two auspicious days that we are talking about today. One happened in 1987, where the DTV Doggone Valentine's, a Valentine's Day special featuring rock and roll music set to scenes from Disney animation, airs on television. It is the first time Russie Taylor supplies the voice for Minnie Mouse.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yep. And then again in 2004, this isn't necessarily Valentine's Day because apparently February the 13th was a Friday in 2004. So Disneyland hosts a Friday the 13th ceremony to light up the mark of the new Tower of Terror. The event, which includes a screaming contest won by Jill Drake of Kent, England, is hosted by comedian Gallagher. The new attraction will open in Disney's California Adventure on May 5th.
Woohoo.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's all I
Yeah.
got.
That's
Sounds
good
great.
stuff, Sophie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is time to stump the soap.
Da, da, da.
You can try.
Try as you may.
This character is awesome. I love this character.
Is that an ant Or is that just your opinion?
Yeah, go ahead, figure it out.
All right. Okay.
Oh.
This
Continue.
character is wise and all-knowing.
Wise and all-knowing and awesome.
Yeah, awesome wasn't a clue. It's just what I feel for this character.
Well, you know what?
So this character is wise and all-knowing.
I'm going to say Merlin from Sword in the Stone.
Good guess, but not correct.
Good guess, though.
Okay,
Good
continue.
guess. This character can speak to animals.
Can speak to animals. Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, there are a lot of people who can speak to animals, but
Okay.
one more hint.
This character lives in a houseboat in a tree.
Mama Odie.
Yep, Mama
Very
Odie.
good.
That's why I left that one was listed first, and I'm like, that one is not going to be first.
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Very good, Sophie.
Thank you.
And the clue about the animals is the did you know? So did you know, although Mama Odie can speak to animals, she is never seen talking with her pet snake because that would just be freaky.
Well, you
I
know
think,
what?
in my opinion.
You know what? There's a theory about that, actually. There is
Oh, tell us.
The theory is this: Mama Odie, being the queen of the bayou, is actually the mother of the Shadow Man, Dr. Facilier, because he says, I'm a royal myself on my mother's side. And what happened to
Oh,
make them estranged is that he turned his father into a snake.
Oh.
And that's
wow.
why Mama Odie does not talk with the snake, because he's not a regular animal, and therefore they can't really commune.
Oh,
Interesting.
very interesting.
Yep.
Isn't it funny the imagination of people that
Isn't
come
it
up with
funny
these
how much
storylines?
information your daughter has? I mean, is it
It's not
crazy?
funny. It's kind of scary sometimes.
It's awesome.
But
It
now
is
you
awesome.
see it, right?
Yeah.
I can see that line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Boom.
All right.
It's
Well,
confirmed.
there you go.
Yep, my face just melted off.
Oh. All right. Well,
Easy.
time for a little bit of Walt.
Yay.
Yeah.
A little bit of Walt. You know we love him.
Yep.
All right. Well, this quote is about Disneyland.
Go for it,
Anaheim
Brenda.
Anaheim was a town of 14,000 then, and if someone had mentioned that one year soon 6 million visitors would come to Disneyland, folks might have second thoughts about inviting us. In fact, we might have had second thoughts about building a Disneyland.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm glad
I
he
mean,
didn't have second
Me
thoughts.
oh
too.
yeah, no doubt. And
But
I
it's
know the
interesting.
whole vision was about, having a place where dads and moms could play with the kids instead of just
Yep.
watching the kids play. But do you think that ever crossed his mind that there would be 6 million people that came one year? Do you think that was
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
back? Do you think he ever thought it would get that popular?
Well, he said it. He
Hmm.
said if someone had mentioned that it would be 6 million visitors, I don't know. But you know how it's right in the middle of town there. It's like you can't, it's not off, like Walt Disney World by itself, kind of.
Yeah.
That's why he took the Skyliner down because
Yeah.
people were
Yeah.
seeing the freeway and thinking, oh my gosh, we got to get home. Look at that traffic jam. I got to go. He's like, oh no, I don't
Yeah.
want them seeing any of that. I want them to be here when they're here.
I want them
Yeah.
here. Yeah, when they're here, they need to be fully here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So they can be
exactly.
enveloped in the magic and not
Yep.
worrying
Right.
about the traffic jam.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good quote.
I love
Very
Gosh,
good
there's
him.
so many.
quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was something else.
He was.
Well, that was a great episode. I had fun with this episode.
Yeah, I
So
want to
did
go
Hope you
back.
guys
Thank
did.
you for latching
Thank-
on to my idea.
Yeah, thank you for thinking of it,
Yeah.
Sophie. We need to go back and do some
So
of these things soon.
Yeah, maybe I
we
should
do.
plan a Valentine's Day trip to Disney.
That'd be fun.
I would
That'll
need
be
to
for
save
next
up
year.
for it a lot, though.
It's okay. That's what we do all year long. We save up for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know
Okay.
one's coming
So
down the pipe.
Mhm.
next week, you know, we talked about this, and we have a little text thread that we shoot ideas amongst each other, and we talked about this one a little bit, and I think we need to give it full due credit to focus on all 3 meals. So I think we need to split it up into 3 parts.
I agree
And
with
next week we're going to talk about your best entree at any restaurant, and we're going to focus on breakfast. So obviously a lot of breakfasts at Disney are in a buffet kind of thing. So if you don't have a specific entree from a breakfast location, maybe talk about what makes X restaurant the best breakfast for you, kind of thing.
Yep.
Sounds
So
great.
next week we're talking breakfast, we're talking Disney food, best entree at any restaurant, and then the week after we're going to talk about lunch, and then we're going to talk about dinner. You see how that
Mhm.
goes? Just
Sounds
lunch and
great.
dinner.
Yep.
So we have
Best
3 weeks of
breakfast.
topics. Yay us!
All right.
Hey, we could do 4. We could talk about desserts some more.
Let's talk about dessert. I know what I'm going to say.
Okay, so we have 4 weeks.
Okay, best dessert at any restaurant.
That's going to be a short topic, I'm afraid.
Mm,
I don't know.
You know? Well,
No.
that's good because diversity's
So
a good thing.
anyway, next week, best entree at any restaurant for Disney breakfast.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
All
great.
right.
All
Sounds
right.
yummy.
Well, that wraps us up this week. I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. He's Grogu. And we hope you all have a great week. And we will see you on
See
the
you on
road.
the road.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.